Shepard.
Okay, so that was kind of not Vex's backstory, but the backstory of like a little bit of the Krogan species, and I'll give you a brief overview to explain if that didn't make a lot of sense. But what happened was the Krogans used to be on their own little home world or whatever, and generally the Krogans can expand and expand and expand and expand before they could just breed and breed and breed and breed and create like thousands and thousands of them really quickly. And the Salarians, which are they're kind of like the tall guys that look really like stereotypical aliens with like the big eyes and the horn, kind of like swirly horny things. I'll show you which ones are the Salarians. Wrong one. Codex.
The Asari.
These guys are the Salarians. But basically they came to the Krogan world, and no, sorry, I got it all wrong. The Turians came to the Krogan world and attacked their Krogans, and it became this great war. And basically the Turians tried to wipe them out because they thought they were a threat to the galaxy. But it became this great war, and eventually the Turians thought they were going to lose because the Krogans could just outman them, could just overproduce them with mass numbers. So the Salarians then created this genetic weapon called the genophage, which they launched onto the Krogans, and it created a genetic mutation so only that 1 in 1,000 births would make it out. And that essentially crippled the Krogan beyond all measures. So now they're this weak race that is slowly dying because most of their births just die because of this weapon. So as you heard him talk about that, now the Krogans just kind of like, no one really gives a shit about saving their own people. They all just go out and become mercenaries or bouncers or whatever, because that's who they are. I mean, like you said, have you seen a Krogan scientist? You this guy doesn't look like he'd be a scientist. He looks like he's like the kind of guy who'd be out in battlefield, like ripping people's limbs off and eating them. But anyway, let's go talk to Ashley.
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Okay.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
They died, you lived. That happens in this job.
Yes, Commander. Believe me, I understand that. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The answer seems plain enough to me. Be more alert.
Aye, aye, Commander. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
Yeah, that was a total waste of time. Anyway, that didn't really tell us anything important. Let's talk to Garrus. Garrus is cool.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
You did the right thing. Life's too short to sit around waiting for things to happen.
Yeah, you're probably right. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
Yeah. C6 sounds exactly like basically any cop organization in the world. Or just the Canadian law system is just so weak and so inefficient. It's bogged down in bureaucracy, bogged down in inefficiencies that don't need to exist.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small.
Yeah, human ingenuity and all that jazz.
I understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
So yeah, okay, you can tell I'm talking to Tali, the Quarian.
I don't like the idea of aliens studying the architecture of Alliance ships.
We're on the same side here. My people have more reason to hate the Geth than anyone, remember? But you can't blame me for being a little excited. I never dreamed I'd get a chance to travel on a ship as advanced as the Normandy.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government?
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.